Hello and welcome back to the channel. Sorry, I got my dog here. He's been scratching at the door like I'm trying to film and it's a bit chaotic. Hey, stop that. And alright, he's settling down now. I don't know if you can see him, he'll probably pop up in a minute. So I just want to thank you all for subscribing or watching this channel or whatever you're doing. Thank you for the company. You know, I really enjoy that. And I really enjoy comments. So please, I know that everyone has their different opinions on stuff. And when we talk about the grey areas, it gets a little bit, you know, people have really strong opinions, whether that be religion or something else. Chill, cool. So even though people have their thing, I still appreciate the comments and I appreciate the debate. I don't appreciate nastiness, who does? But, you know, we can all learn from each other in certain aspects. So, yeah, bring it on. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about love. And I'm not talking about how you love your family, you love your wife maybe, or your husband or whoever. I'm not talking about that kind of love. I'm talking about a love that's even more special. How can I possibly say that something is more special than loving your mother? All I can tell you is that I had an experience with a blue dude, a blue alien, believe it or not. You can believe it or not. So my experience happened at my parents' place. It was after my NDE, so it was probably, just trying to guess, probably about 3 years later, 3 or 4 years later. And I'd been having really bad headaches. So I went to visit them anyway, and as I was, you know, having dinner and all that, the headache got worse and worse and worse. So what I ended up doing was staying in my old bedroom, which is a queen-size bed, and, you know, had the room to myself. So my old room at their place. As the night went on, I managed to somehow fall asleep with my really bad headache, which affected my neck as well. So I found a position to lie in on my side, and I was looking out the window. And, you know, I had this pillow and I just like, every little movement just triggered this nerve pain in my head. So I was very cautious not to move. And as I was doing that, I fell asleep, which was really comforting for a change, like in that position. And then I woke up. And I woke up to the almost usual feeling of kind of like the energy had shifted in the room, like something had happened. And people talk about, when they have sleep paralysis, for example, they talk about the energy shifting. Now, I wasn't sure at that stage if the energy was actually as more of an alien thing or whether it was more of another kind of entity thing, because I'd already experienced as well situations where I woke up and there would be, to put it in simple terms, a ghost in the room. There was no energy in that room as in like when you have what some people might say before they get abducted by aliens or whatever. So I was on my side, it's a queen size bed, and I was facing the window. So on my side, facing the window, pillow, fell asleep. And I woke up during the night sometime. I don't know what time it was, but I woke up. Everyone else was asleep. And when I woke up, the reason I think I woke up was because my senses must have sensed that the energy had shifted in the room. And the room felt I'm not going to say it was like a sleep paralysis because it wasn't, but it had a little bit of a tinge to the sleep paralysis kind of vibe to it. I was not paralyzed like in sleep paralysis at all, but at the same time I couldn't be. It's almost like I might as well be, because I couldn't move, like without damaging what appeared to be my brain. So as I'm lying there, I open my eyes and I'm like, oh. But the room was illuminated somehow. Like it was dark, but I could kind of see everything. Now, I don't know whether that was because of my migraine and everything's heightened, and so you kind of see everything, maybe because I'm sensitive to the light or whatever. And as I'm lying there, I'm thinking, oh, I was a little bit confused. Are you alien or are you ghost? You'll know what I mean by that if you watch the other video when I say ghost. And I've had a lot of ghostly encounters, trust me. Won't go into that in this video, but maybe later. And when I realized that, then I could feel the energy was coming in stronger, and I could sense it was behind me on my bed. So I'm lying on my side and it's behind me, out of my view. And I go, oh, alien. I just knew, it let me know that was kind of what it was. It was a physical or metaphysical being. So this being was there, and that's when the energy shifted even more. Now this energy shifted towards, it's like you went on a really bad holiday and you come home and you're just so grateful to be home, right? And you have the comfort of your mother or whoever at home. It felt a bit like that. I was being comforted, and the amount of love that was oozing from every orifice of the room was incredible. And I sensed that this being, it almost felt like, okay, this is where it gets nuts, people, okay? I almost sensed as if this being was, and it was feminine, was my true mother of mothers. I love my mother. She is my mother. I appreciate my mother. This was like another layer of mother, right? And the amount of love was, I've not experienced it on earth. When I had my NDE, yes, I felt at one, I felt at peace, I felt all that. But this was like a love from a physical form, which is kind of different. And without saying a word, without even seeing this being at this point, that's how it felt. As I said, oh, you're alien, and as I felt the love, I could tell the hesitance from this being. It did not want me to see the form of this being. But I was trying to reassure it, it's okay. It's okay. And I'm assuming that it would have known a lot about me already, because if it did, then it would know that it literally is okay, especially when I'm not in paralysis, sleep paralysis. And so it was a bit reluctant, but I tried to turn my head, but like, oh my gosh, the nerve pain. And I'm like, oh. And I said, come on, it's okay, it's okay. Just let me see you. And I'm kind of, maybe I'm expecting it to kind of walk around or get off the bed, but of course, you know, it was reluctant. And so I kind of try again, and then I could feel like the being was kind of really, really, really understanding the amount of pain that I was in. And even, I'm not just talking about physical, but mental pain as well. And it must have got to that point where perhaps this being was really concerned, because I've had the NDE, right? I've had all this other stuff going on. I've had all the signs, I've had all these interactions, I've had the automatic writing, I've had visions, I've had this, I hate it when people say they predict stuff. But in my book, my first book in 2005, which that's it there, but the cover is blurred, I actually speak about stuff that happened later, right? Even though it was it's an autobiography, but the setting and what was happening with politics and all that sort of stuff, it came later on. So that was the fictionalized version, which ended up being not so fictionalized. As we know, we just went through something huge. And just, America, that's all I'll say. Be careful. Anyway, so this being ended up putting her hand across my neck. And it was huge. Like, the first thing I realized was how big it was. And maybe that's a sense of how big the love was, like maybe that was a part of why I felt so, whoa, like really in the love. And when I touched the hand, which I did, so I kind of saw it at the side of my eye, and then I just grabbed it, and I could kind of feel it almost wanted to pull away. Like, no, like you're gonna freak out too much. It's too much, it's like it crossed the line somehow. But I'm like, nah, you've gone this far. Nah. And I'm embracing this because this is what I need, and thank you so much. And I literally put it to my lips and I kissed the hand. And at that point, I think it just relaxed, and everything was all right. I didn't need to see anymore. I felt it. That's what I needed. I needed to feel. I needed to feel the love, and I needed to feel that there is someone looking out for me. Even this weird, person going through all this freaking marriage breakups and, after NDEs and all these wacky stories and whatever, right? The experiences. Someone gets it. Someone validates that this is not for nothing. You need to keep going. And that's the embrace. And so this hand was blue. It's an unusual kind of blue, let's just say that. But it was a light color blue, like a baby blue, but just on a bit, maybe a bit more bluish, like a baby blue, So, and also what I found was, going by memory, I think it had 4 digits, right? I hate saying it. It's not it, it's she. It had a feminine, I feel really disrespectful that I say it, and so forgive me. She. The big she. The big, just the mother of mothers. Thank you. So I felt it, and I felt the love, and the hand did not bother me. I was just like, it's almost like, I don't remember, if I'm supposed to, what you look like, so you've done good there, right? So don't worry about that. Like, nothing's going to change. You're still a mystery to me, whoever you are. But the important thing is that I had that encouragement to keep going. And I did. And that was one of the most powerful, loving experiences that I've had in my entire life. And my uncle once told me that you love your kids, but you're in love with your grandkids. Now, that might be true, but I don't know what kind of love this is, so I don't know how you could possibly love any person more than what I felt. And yes, people will say, well, yeah, like Jesus is love. Jesus is the one that you only got to look out to and all that. And that might be the case. For whatever reason, at this particular time, I'm not saying anything on the contrary about Jesus or anything, so hey, just chill for a bit. But what I am saying is, this was what I needed in the form that it was. Everything about the delivery was what I needed at that time. And that's essentially it. So if you have experienced anything cutting edge, yes, we can hear about the NDEs and all the rest of it, and maybe some alien contact or whatever. But was there something that really, really stood out as being odd or a little bit different to the norm within the unnormal? So is there anything there? I'd really like to hear anything that you've got. And yeah, let's have a conversation and, let's share these things. You can be I don't know. Can you be anonymous on YouTube? I'm fairly new to this sort of stuff, you probably realize. But I'm hoping to, really get the ball rolling in a big way, because I've seen what's out there, and I do get little bits of information from other people, and I go, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. But then my own experiences sort of sometimes paint me a different picture. So every little speck of our information source can paint a totally different picture in the end for everyone. All those pixels, they just look like pixels. But let's step back from that and see your unique vision of the world. And I'd like to see yours. So please comment, subscribe, and I'll keep you posted with other stuff as well. I'll share other things as we go along. I do want to get some interesting people on my feed as well to interview, so please look forward to that too. I hope you will anyway. And I certainly am. It's like I just want to do everything at once, but I cannot. This is got to be done in a way that's respectful and not just fluffy, right? It's not going to be just clouds in the sky and there's the answer to everything that is emotionally wrong with me. Thank you. I needed that puppy dog face. I want it, and yes, that could be real to that person and good and great, and I hope it makes you feel good. But let's get a little bit deeper. Let's talk about stuff that has been locked away or been put in a dusty jar for so long. Let's open the top up and let the spirits out. All right, I'll see you next time. That's enough from me, I'm sure. All right, bye.